Okay.
You sound even better. So whatever you did was good to do.
My headphones crashed out of connection to my computer, which happens an annoying amount. It always happens early, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's. Did you see? Um, it was some number of months ago now. If this any of this makes it in, I could link it. But Ben Jordan did a he did a video where he traveled around the country to like different data centers and did like really comprehensive uh, audio testing to
Mm,
like basically like locate the frequencies and the like disruptive amount of noise at those frequencies. And it was like, yeah, it was pretty bad. I would not want to live next to one of those. I think it would maybe drive you crazy.
yeah, just the sheer amount of energy they have to consume. It's like most of them have like diesel generators like on the outside. It's like it's worse than a lot of modern factories. But I guess in a certain way, it is a factory for bleeps and bloops and zeros and ones. It's a
Yeah,
zeros and ones factory.
it's a dank memes factory.
Yeah, the data center thing is so interesting too because like there's this the in every issue of Harper's they have this page where it's like just a list of sort of poetically organized facts and polls. And a couple of months ago, they had a poll that was like 92% of like real GDP growth in America was data centers in the past year. And it's like that's the only new thing we're building. Data centers and jails. It's the warehouse era. It's the large sheet metal frame building era for America.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'd be fun to do. Well, fun is maybe not the right word. I think it would be interesting to do a dive into kind of the local aspects of that, like the places that they are popping up in Massachusetts and around the area, and then talking about some of that. I mean, way smarter people, frankly, have covered it, but it we're just really in like it's really difficult not to see how this is all just going to slam into a fucking brick wall when they are unable to continue to just sort of, you know, use speculation to prop it up. Um,
Right.
the data centers are a massive resource drain. They use absurd amounts of energy. They create all this horrid noise. They're like completely ruining the chip market with kind of no end in sight. We
Yeah.
have like maybe unprecedented world supply chain issues for more than half a decade now, more often than not, between COVID and the war.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, also, I have been reading a lot about, and I had a conversation with some family who are kind of on the edges of. I'll be vague. They are involved in ways with the tech and tech security industry, and talking about AI and coding with AI and stuff, and how careful they have to be now that a lot of these the companies are having to try to realize some amount more gain than with the flat subscription system. So they're going to these token systems, and like companies are burning through their like token money allowances like a couple months into a fiscal year. There's just a lot of like there's a lot of there's the environmental impact, there's all the other things, there's like the crazy amount of just money getting dumped in with no real sense of like what will sustain it when that money stops dumping in, which is a lot like the dot-com boom, but this is like unprecedented on levels I think probably not seen in human history or modern human history. And then, yeah, on top of it, it turns out that when you have to realize that when you have to pay even close to the actual cost of like serious AI computing, it's not actually cheaper than people.
Right.
Um,
Because
yeah,
it makes mistakes. And you need to have real people go in and fix those mistakes. And once a mistake is made somewhere obscure in a series of whatever, I'm out of my depth talking about this shit, but it's hard to fix the mistake. So you not only do you need people, you need people who are like really good at debugging that stuff. And we're not training anybody to be really good at that anymore because we're just telling everyone to go vibe code, tell Claude what you want it to do. So
yeah. Yeah, and I'm, I'll leave it with this. I am one of these people. I am not someone who does not think that there is any use for AI. I think that there are uses for AI. I think my position, as I explained to some people a while ago when I had a conversation about this, is like, people are like, well, it's just as stupid to be like, no AI ever, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's always bad. It's like, yeah, except the industry and the entire, economy basically is saying, this is good. You want it. You're getting it whether you want it or not. You're going to use it. It's going to make everything better. We're going to put it into everything. And like, so if that's their negotiating position, my negotiating position is no. And then, like,
yeah,
convince me otherwise.
it's this is a so my take on AI is like yes, I have to have a reflexive public, not here, not where I can be more honest, right? Because this isn't public. Like reflexively, I'm like fuck AI, fuck AI forever. But that's the AI that we're being marketed. The AI that exists in real life is like a I don't know, like 2 gigabyte language model that you can download onto your machine that turns audio into text. Like that's incredibly useful.
Yep.
And there's a lot of good things that you can do with that. And as a journalist, that saves me a fuck ton of time sometimes. And I'm able to just get my notes better off of just like getting a rough transcript of 5-hour city council meeting, get a rough transcript. Makes organizing stuff easier. It's great. That's not the what's the term that they stopped using but they were using like all through 2025. We're going to get to, it's like universal intelligence or something like
singularity.
that. Yeah, no, not the singularity, the Sam Altman like hype word for we're going to reach like
Oh God, yeah, I don't remember.
Whatever that is. It basically like telling the peasants that God is going to come down from the heavens, riding like a bolt of lightning that is my platform. And the funny thing about all of this is that like the the Chinese have figured out AI much better than we have, and they don't have the like amount of speculative hype, and they don't have the amount of data centers being built because like a lot of the new construction of this stuff is based on like a weird arms race between Silicon Valley dickheads of who has more compute power, right? It's not actually even all that necessary, but they're like building out the infrastructure because they're all trying to lay claim to being like the next sort of monopoly power in like Web 4.0 or whatever. So it's very much like a weird dick measuring contest.
Yeah, there's a reason that like the Manhattan Project was not a like free market economy endeavor. There are times I think this is probably one of them when you're trying to capture and incorporate something of this magnitude that you you have it be like a unified project and not everything else in the tech world where it's like every company is trying to just be a loss leader and turn into an Amazon where they can defeat all of their competitors and then just dominate the entire space. But anyway, I don't know why we're talking about this.
Because the thought experiment of if Elon Musk was in charge of the Manhattan Project is fucking hilarious. The bombs explode like just unceremoniously, like 2 miles off of Guam before the planes can get in the air, and we're all speaking German now.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. On that note, I saw a headline today, and I had such a reaction to it. I saw this headline. I mean, it's in the news, so you may have seen it. Other people may have, but basically, SpaceX abandoned a rocket in space, and it's about to slam into the moon. And so there was this headline. It was like, SpaceX abandoned SpaceX rocket. Inevitably about to, crash into the moon. And I was like, wow, I'm living in the future that I didn't want.
Living in the future portended by that French silent film from like the 1920s or whatever, where the rocket crashes into the moon.
Yes, exactly. The one from the Smashing Pumpkins video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. It's great. It's great. But
So cool.
we got a lot of local news to get to this week. It's been a super, super busy news week. So much going on. It's really, really crazy. So Chris, I'm just going to get sort of right to it here. Number one story right off the top, best sandwich in the city. What's the best sandwich in the city? And why is it the double down chicken sandwich from Peppercorns on Park Avenue? It used to be the Ivory Husket Flying Rhino on Shrewsbury Street, but unfortunately they are gone now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a post on the Worcester MA subreddit where people routinely have some of the worst takes I've ever heard about the city. This is a bad sandwich take, but I don't know the person who has this take, and people are allowed to eat whatever they want, up to and including human beings, I guess. I think that's actually open. It's open territory these days.
Hey, we steal from TrueAnon all the time. I've probably stolen from them 2 or 3 times already in this very short episode. But they've been saying a lot. You can just do things now. So
you just do anything you want. I mean,
do
like
things now.
I learned from that program that Jeffrey Epstein, or one of them, had the infection that you get from eating human flesh, like on their face. So, maybe the Comet ping pong guy was right. That's something we're going to have to, the historians will have to reckon with that one.
Yes.
If he was actually just like 100% right. The other bit from Better Podcast that I return to, like pretty much once a week in my head is from Trillbillies. The bit about how chemtrails aren't poisoning us. They're just like seasoning us.
Yes.
They're just dusting us with like Cajun seasoning so we taste better when they just come to eat our flesh.
Yeah.
They're seasoning us.
They're just seasoning us. I use the spice that gets used, or the bottle of spice that gets used in my house more than any other by far, is a blend called Mural of Flavor from Penzies. It's a general flavor blend. It's supposed to be something you can use to use less salt. I've like every man on my dad's side of my family, I've had high blood pressure basically like from the second I turned 18. And so I've had to learn to cook with less salt. I've been doing it a very long time now. I think they're just hitting us with the Mural of Flavor. The spice blend. They don't want to have too much sodium, but they're getting us ready.
We can't notice. We can't be like, why do we just taste so good?
Yeah,
Like, why do we suddenly just taste so good? You know, it has to be like boiling a frog type of situation where we can't notice how succulent our meat is until it's too late.
I mean, whatever, man. It's fine if they've got that kind of shit going. Then I'm glad they're at least not going to eat me bland.
Yeah,
Show your ingredients a little respect.
You know, and if it is the case, if it pans out, like at least somebody's, orienting themselves towards the future, not just existing quarter to quarter and faking it. Seasoning us for how we will taste in a few years shows some foresight, and we really haven't had any foresight here in America since Poppy Bush died. We're sort of just living in the history he set out for us. So
I absolutely agree with that sentiment. So since there actually has not been much that has happened in the last week, let's engage with this first question.
I was asking you.
Yeah,
what is the best sandwich in the city?
So have you had the Double Down, Bill?
No, I haven't.
The Double Down is a decent sandwich. It is not the best sandwich in the city unless, I don't know, you're a person who posts on Reddit. But
like a KFC Double Down type deal where the chicken's the bread?
No, it's not that. That is what it sounds like. It's a chicken sandwich, but it's the sauce and or maybe the brine are made with beer from the Double Down brewery.
Okay.
It's a decent chicken sandwich. If you're going to have a chicken sandwich, it's one of the better ones. Most of the time for me, a chicken sandwich is not really what I'm looking for. Best sandwiches in the city, I would have to say, number one is the ABCD from Tom's Deli. You ever had an ABCD?
I have only been at Tom's Deli maybe 2 or 3 times. And I didn't even know there was an ABCD on the menu, and I don't know what that sandwich is.
So Tom's does a couple variations of Italians, and it's different meats. So there's like an A, a B, a C, and a D, and then you can order a combination. So you can get an AB or you can get an AC. The ABCD is all of them. All the meats. And it is the best Italian in the city.
They got that bologna with the nuts in it.
Oh, they do the pistachio bologna. I don't think it goes on that sandwich, but
yeah, that's what's that called? It has a name. Maybe not sopressata. That's the spicy one.
I think it's mortadella that they put the pistachios in.
Yeah,
you can get it without You can get it without pistachios. I would say that sandwich. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say ordering pistachios. You say, can I get some mortadella, no meat?
Just pistachios. Yeah, I'll have the mortadella with the meat on the side, please.
What were you saying? Sorry, that was stupid.
No. Only other thing I was going to say, my other real long time go-to sandwich in the city would probably be the Rockin' Moroccan from Boomers.
Okay, but Boomers is not an often invoked establishment.
Nope.
But no. I do like it. It's pretty good. I'm not going to tell that story. That's just, there's no reason. It was my fault. It was user error. I got diarrhea from Boomers because of what I did, not what they did. So I'm not even going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you or the listener how that happened. Because no reason to put a nice local business on blast like that. What was I going to say? Oh, me and Katie went to Volturno, got a pepperoni pizza. We're like, let's get one of the pizzas we've never gotten. Because why would you go to Volturno and get a pepperoni pizza? Pepperoni pizza is for little kids and to eat cold at birthday parties. But it was a really good pepperoni pizza. And we had the idea, get this, Chris, North Jersey nachos, where you do super crispy salamis, pepperonis, and other sorts of cured meats. And you put marinara sauce on them and pizza cheese and eat it like nachos.
Oh, I love this idea.
You could put some like banana peppers, pepperoncinis, basically just try to find the Italian American analog for the Americanized Mexican nachos, like at the Boynton. Your iceberg lettuce, you just go to basil. Your olives, I think, stay olives. And refried beans is a tough one. I don't know what the Italian refried bean is. Cannelli bean? What are the big beans? Those are
Cannellinis
cannellinis.
or
Are those?
Great Northern.
That's an Italian bean. I
Cannellini
don't know that.
definitely is. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
You
All
could
right.
refry cannellinis.
That's probably wicked good. I only have those in the soup that it comes in, the wedding soup.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never tried to. Oh man, I should. All right, but my best sandwich in the city. I mean, I'm gonna be boring with this one, but I think that we have to acknowledge that we got something special on our hands here. The meatball sub, the meatball sandwich at Vincent's
Oh,
is the
absolutely.
best. Is the single best sandwich in the city. I mean, they got something going on there, and I think it's just the repetition and the consistency, where that sandwich is consistently my favorite sandwich ever.
So I don't want to be sycophantic here, but I will say that in my mind, when I was thinking about the best sandwich, I was thinking subs. And you are absolutely right. As far as a non-sub sandwich, it would be the Vincent's meatball, and nothing even comes close. That is a truly magical sandwich.
Yeah,
I like to do the meatball sausage mix. You ever done that?
Yeah. The meatball sausage mix is good. The sausages there can get a little out of control sometimes. Just like it like really, just like the kind of spicy that I know I'm getting heartburn, especially if I'm throwing some beers back. So I don't often get that, but when I do, I love it.
That's fair.
There is a difference between a sandwich and a sub. Now, for the record, the Reddit post is concerning sandwiches, and no one is making that distinction. Subs and sandwiches are thrown in together all willy-nilly. Like with no care for the difference. Best sub in the city, the Italian, straight up. It's actually not called an Italian. It's called something else. It starts with a C at Palmas. It is the more Italian on the menu than the Italian. That is the best sandwich in the city, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you once again. I would say that if you want the truest representation of an Italian, Palma's is where you're going to want to go to get it. Tom's Deli is incredible. Tom's Deli is a Polish deli, so you are getting a Polish family's version of an Italian sandwich. Very, very good. But yeah, the pinnacle Italian sandwich. Do you know Gabe Rollins?
Gabe, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, he's a Worcester guy. Gabe did some actual, research into this, and by research I mean he went to like most of the places in the city that do an Italian and tried them all. And his conclusion was that sandwich at Palmas. So you're in good company. Yeah.
I mean, I spent probably 8 years making sub sandwiches, so I have a high bar that must be hit, and that hits it. You know what? Palmas is like, when in The Sopranos, when Tony Soprano has like this like idealistic like dream version of what old world Italy is like he is like he conjures up, and then there's just like a beautiful lady who loves him in that vision, but everything else about that is like stepping into Palmas. Besides the beautiful mob boss lady that he wants to be with, the rest of it, it's like stepping into Palmas is like stepping into old world Italy. It is It is amazing. I love that place.
I also really love Palma's. You're reminding me I need to take Aaron there. Actually, I haven't been there in too long, and I live pretty close to it now, so there's like extra no excuse. But on
Oh yeah,
side
you're
note,
a skip and a jump.
oh yeah, no, I'm practically right down the road now. Since we're kind of burning time here anyway with the lack of actual news that's anything besides the same shit from the last several months.
I do have something, but I don't want to. It's okay. We're hanging out.
Yeah, we're cooking with fire here. We're talking sandwiches. This is
Yeah,
one of my
more
favorite
important.
topics. This was literally a question that I had when I was dating. Was like, tell me your dream sandwich. That's really important information as far as I'm concerned. Sandwiches are very central to my life. But yeah, I used to go to Palma's a lot. There is a 3-decker right in front of it at the actual corner of Rice Square. I think it's 5 Rice Square. And I used to work with this guy, alcoholic, degenerate gambler, just a real trip of a man. I have no idea what he's up to now. I don't know if he's still alive. But he, for like 15 minutes, owned that 3-decker in the most like pre real estate, lending crash of the mid aughts. Got some kind of crazy like balloon loan with no money down. Kind of, it was like everyone besides him could see like you're not going to have this place in like 3 years, dude.
Right.
But yeah, so he bought the place. I was helping him do a bunch of stuff there. So I spent a lot of time at Palma's because it was like in the backyard. That's how I found Palma's.
There's always like the freaking cast of the Goodfellas just sipping espressos out in front. It's awesome. It really is. It really is a special place. You know what else is over there that's like a miracle that it's still kicking, but is absolutely incredible? Is Foley and Sons Fish and Chips.
Oh yeah.
Which is right over by North High, like the turn you have to take to get onto North High from Plantations. Whatever. I think it's Plantation Street. Yeah,
right there at the light across from what used to be the fire station and is now a rich couple's house.
Dude, they had their garage bays open one time when I was driving by. Me and Katie were driving by, and like they had like a classic car in the middle of like the coolest living room I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like they just parked their car into a living room, and it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Pool table down there, or billiards table even it might be. It's really nice. Like a 200-inch TV. They're living the dream, man. They really are.
When does pool become billiards?
I don't know, but there's definitely an amount of money that you have to have
where you can no longer call it pool.
Yeah, it actually has to do with the rules, but like, yeah, there's a class of people that play billiards. I feel
that play billiards. Yeah.
Yeah. Foley's, man. Foley's open 8 hours a week. They are open Fridays only.
Yeah.
From noon to 8.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is very much right in my neighborhood. So I've gotten to take Aaron there a couple of times.
They have one thing on the menu.
Yeah, it's fish, and then a couple of other. They got clams and scallops, maybe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just like I think when I went in there, I was like, fish and chips, please.
Yeah.
And they were like, you came to the right place. Here you go. And I was like, thank you.
It's the only thing I've ever eaten there. I don't even know if they have fries. They might.
No, they get chips. It comes with chips.
Right. Of course. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I meant onion rings. The other fryer thing.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, Foley's, just an amazing place, run by a group of entirely women, like multi-generation group of women that I assume are all from the same family or like two families or something. My great Foley's story was I went in there once in like October. and I was talking to them, and it was, I think maybe the first or second time I went there, and I was like, oh yeah, so wow, you only open on Fridays. And the woman looks at me like deadpan, and she's like, we're open on Ash Wednesday as well.
Dude.
She's like, we're open one Wednesday a year, and it's like 7 months from now. So act like you know.
Yeah. What you fucking idiot.
You fucking idiot.
What? We're a fish and chips place. You don't think we'd be open on Ash Wednesday? Do you ever even have one single thought in your head?
These are the places you're not going to learn about on Worcester Reddit. That's why you come to this podcast.
That's why you come to this podcast. Because the only time that somebody who's really from Worcester, you know what I mean, who's really from Worcester, the only time you ever eat fish is every single Friday and Ash Wednesday. Those are the only times we eat fish if you're a real East Sider. You know what I mean?
I am not Catholic. I have never done Lent, except if there's fish on Fridays everywhere. I'm going to eat a lot of fish on Fridays. I'm a big supporter of that tradition.
Yeah, I mean it's just cool. It's like something to look forward to. Oh, it's freaking getting fish. And then you do takeout and your car smells like fish the whole weekend. Another perk, I'd say. I used to have to deliver fish and chips because the pizza place I worked at did fish and chips Fridays.
Ooh, that's tough.
Obviously I'm rocking a car with no AC, right? So I've just got the fish car, for like solid 3 days after a busy Friday night, lugging around fish and chips.
Yeah, fish car. You could probably you could probably like date the oil down to the hour based on the smell in your car.
It's like the tree rings, but for smells and residues.
Yes.
Damn, that's nasty.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's I used to eat Foley's a lot, and then I went the better part of a decade without really. I think I only had it once, and now I get it. Maybe once a month or two. The thing with I'll say this. If you're ordering fish and chips delivery at any sort of distance, you are doing it wrong. And I'm not being a snob or whatever, but fish and chips is like one of those you got to be eating that like 5 minutes after it comes out of the fryer. It really takes a dive pretty quickly.
It's like you need the first bite. You need to be going like, because it's too hot to eat. Because then, the third through one of those last bites that's just like the crumbs, like where you're sort of just like picking through the crumbs, depending on the breading. The end of a fish and chips, it's like really exciting beginning, really sort of disappointing ending for a meal, I'd say. Because at a certain point, you just hit that like grease wall where you're like, I feel disgusting. But getting there, and what they say, life's all about the journey. Mm-hmm. Getting to that point of feeling disgusting it's a hell of a ride, man. It's transcendent. All right, I got one news item for us to talk about today, which we should do before we get any further into talking about fucking nothing and putting it on the internet. Although we did just drop some real truth bombs and knowledge for people. Anybody who read that Reddit thread and was like, I'm not seeing a good sandwich on this list. Come to the Outdoor Cats podcast. We'll talk sandwiches with you. We know the Worcester sandwiches. But Massterlist. Chris, do you know what Massterlist is?
I do. That's the news thing that's not State House news but covers Massachusetts politics.
Yes.
Or is it actually is it an arm of State House news?
Is it an arm of State House news service?
It's not important.
I don't actually know the answer to that. I do know that it was a big deal when I worked at daily newspapers. Mm-hmm. To have a story of yours get picked up by the Massterlist. It's sort of like a micro drudge report sort of thing where getting linked out by it is a big deal. It's been around a long time. It's a very influential newsletter, daily news roundup sort of apparatus for Massachusetts, particularly the Boston area, but all of Massachusetts, local news. For a long time, it really didn't have any competition at all. The Politico playbook has sort of stepped in to be the slightly more liberal, I guess, answer to it. But Massterlist tends to be a little bit on the conservative side, type of people who like, you talk about Ron Mariano or whatever that guy is who controls the state. And
Ray Mariano. No, I'm sorry, that's our guy.
No,
you're
Ron.
right. Ron.
The
big one.
The evolved Ray Mariano. The second, or perhaps even third evolved form of Ray Mariano. They're super into like the inside baseball, They love the horse race. They love politics.
Yeah, and this it goes
reading
back,
the tea leaves.
Yeah, and like when Dill says it goes back a long time, Massterlist literally goes back to the time that some of you youngins might not remember, where the way that you got this kind of news in aggregate was in an email that came to your inbox with all the that's literally what it was.
Yeah, I still read it every day.
Yeah. Anyway, Massterlist.
Massterlist has sort of a running feature where the longtime lead writer of Massterlist, his name is John Keller. He is he comes in and he opines about matters political in the great state of Massachusetts. Today, he has a feature called The Untouchable Incumbent, Keller, on what makes Jim McGovern unique among mass members of Congress. You'll love to see someone's byline and then like the subhead has their name in it. Like, bro, I know you wrote that. It's like talking about yourself in the third person. Keller, on what makes Jim McGovern unique among mass members of Congress. Ooh, Keller.
Extremely John Keller move. Do you remember his other big property on I don't know, it was one of the TV news stations, Keller at Large?
No. What was he like? Okay. Talking head?
Yeah, and he has been for a while. But anyway, another Keller property where his name is in the thing. Just so you know, you're getting John Keller.
Dude, yeah, okay, I've seen that. This is the first time I've ever looked at this dude's face. Yeah, I remember. That makes me feel like I just had like a childhood memory resurface from that. But anyway, it's August. We got some primary contests coming up in early September. So, everyone that's following the horse race is starting to think about, the next election season. In in Massachusetts, we have a real fucking stinker of an election season, right? And this is me, not John Keller. I'm going to get to John Keller, but I'm setting it up. So your John Kellers of the world are all scrambling for something to infuse this upcoming fall with like a little bit of intrigue, right? So I guess trying to set the stage, he writes this weird profile on why nobody tries to run against Jim McGovern, calling him the untouchable incumbent. And it's interesting, before I get into this, that like I always like just sort of like took Jim McGovern's untouchableness for granted. Like a lot of congressmen are like that, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that there is something like a little bit unique about Jim McGovern's untouchability, but not in the way that esteemed columnist and talking head John Keller gets to. So he opens up and he says, the midterms are just 13 weeks away. Just 13 weeks, folks.
Just 13 weeks.
Just 13 weeks away from those midterms. Ooh. And there is still no obvious answer to the question, what do Massachusetts voters want? Well, you got rid of the only thing anybody wanted. Mm-hmm. I'm sure John Keller's drinking at the same bars as the fucks who made that decision.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah. I'm talking about rent control in case anybody didn't get it. And how John Keller drinks with members of the state Supreme Judicial Court at one of those bars that gets written about in the Boston Globe from time to time concerning State House expense accounts. All of that, of course, occurring in GTA 6. A fan build. Roblox. What do Massachusetts voters want? Okay, comma, John Keller says, not Republicans. But beyond that, it's not clear what we're shopping for. Old hands or young blood? Insiders or outsiders? Socialists, capitalists, lovers, muggers, thieves? We love that. Allegedly no longer, in parentheses, dirty water. But what else? Man, 2 paragraphs in and you can just really tell John Keller's got nothing right about.
He is really spinning. He is doing the word count dance like only the John Kellers of the world can do.
It's like,
or would do, or want to.
Do you have to write this column? Like, I'm pretty sure you don't. Like, the newsletter comes out often without a column. So he ostensibly wanted to write this. But anyway, I continue. Maybe there's a clue in that most rare phenomenon. Oh, dude, I hate it when people write like that. Maybe there's a clue in that most rare phenomenon. A member of Congress facing absolutely no competition for re-election. Dude, that's not
a rare phenomenon at all.
Is this guy like, where does he, what fucking universe is he from? No Democratic primary challengers, no Republican general election foe, not even a stray independent or third party wingnut who flits onto the ballot like a fly seeking purchase on a dog's leavings.
Bill, what you don't understand is back in the day, you used to be able to get a job fresh out of, whatever storied institution you came out of, where you would make very good chance, where you would make the modern equivalent of like $800,000 a year to do this once a week.
Like, okay, my ass gets a little florid sometimes in the newsletter. Sure. I like to experiment. I like to reach for shit. But my God, let me read the sentence back again. Not even a stray independent or a third-party wingnut who flits onto the ballot like a fly seeking purchase on a dog's leavings, pending certain disposal by the voters. Pending certain disposal by the voters. That makes me scratch my head. So I didn't read this as closely. So I'm just sort of like freshly now realizing how funny this is.
It also doesn't. Okay, so let's actually walk through this analogy. The analogy is that the Republican upstart would be a fly flittering onto dog shit. The phrase he's looking for that normal people would use is a fly on shit. But the shit is a Democratic incumbent that voters are ready to throw out. And so the fly is going to go onto the shit that's getting thrown out.
Yeah. So it's a stray independent or third party wingnut, not the Republican who is not a wingnut. So
I see. Okay.
This is like somebody from the spaghetti monster party or something, who flits onto the ballot like a fly seeking purchase on a dog's leaving. I don't think that flies are seeking purchase. I just don't think a fly has ever sought purchase on anything, let alone a dog's leavings.
Who
Dude,
who is it seeking
leavings?
purchase from? It's dog shit.
And then pending certain disposal by the voters is just like he's sort of exposing himself to be a tryhard, because that doesn't mean anything. And that's actually central to the point of like those are pending certain disposal by the voters are 6 words that just don't go together. Pending, it just doesn't not communicating an idea.
Yeah. It's not chocolate and peanut butter, I'll tell you that.
He's literally just stroking one out. And I don't know, hasn't read a good writer since he was in college, because he's like pre Don DeLillo on this fucking shit with his prose. But anyway, among the 9 members of the Massachusetts delegation up for renewal, 2nd District Congressman Jim McGovern is unique. But why? Why is he unique? Is everyone else have a challenger? He doesn't really say, but we'll assume that everybody else has a challenger, I guess. This being the central thesis of the article, I don't know.
I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm going to shut my mouth and let you get through this.
So then he moves to a quote from Jim McGovern. I have no idea, says Jim McGovern. Can you just imagine Jim, like this John Keller, like basically his question to him is like as florid and tortured as those 4 paragraphs I just read. And then Jim just goes, I have no idea.
Jim, imagine in your mind palace that you are dog shit. And why isn't a fly from an outsider fly candidate landing on you when you're...
If you were a dog, if you were a dog's leavings, do you think that a fly would be seeking purchase on you before pending certain disposal by voters? I have no idea.
Yeah. Correct answer.
I would like to think it's because I'm doing a good job and I have Democrats, Independents, and Republicans who appreciate that and believe I deserve another term. Baba, this is the 8th time since taking office in 1997 that McGovern has had a free ride. That's whatever. An eyebrow-raising feat considering the seat in 1996, then known as the 3rd CD and destined for 2 rounds of redistricting since, was one of 2 held by a Republican, Peter Blute. That's not a real name. No one's named Peter Blute. According to some of the right-wing trolls on one Worcester area Facebook page, quotations in parentheses, the state is a communist state. Mm-hmm. The explanation is the 2nd CD was redistricted out of reach of the GOP. Chris, one guess as to the Facebook page he quoted from.
Worcester Politics 101.
No, Seven Hills Political Exchange.
Okay.
The one that I don't get to see because I was blocked before I even could request it. Yeah, I really want to get in there. Somebody wants to like pass me one of their burner accounts that has access so I can just look through it every now and again. That would be great.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever tried, but I don't think I would be welcome.
It's just Colleen West. I just want to go on there and ask Colleen West if she's been outside today.
Oh, yeah, it's Colleen. That's right.
It tickles me so much every time I get to ask that question. She was commenting on a Worcester Sucks Instagram post like a couple days ago, and I got to say, Colleen, have you been outside today? For a whole new audience. Like, that's like people on Facebook know I'm going to say that, but people on Instagram haven't seen that shit. And no is the answer. Actually, she hasn't.
Have you been outside? Have you emptied your ashtray? Have you brought out your many Magnum wine bottles to the recycling.
Calling screen time versus non-screen time. Let's see a breakdown. But like most everything else, you read on Facebook, that's false. Jim McGovern's narrow 1996 margin of victory came from Worcester and Fall River. He lost the Spindle City, which voted Republican for president in 2024 for the first time in a century, in the 2010 redistricting, but picked up Leominster, no left-wing haven. He's literally going... So, you know how far out of your way you have to go to pull a quote from the Seven Hills political exchange? Like, why? Why did he do that? Like, we are some of the closest observers of Worcester media and social media, and we just talked about how neither of us see anything on that page. But John Keller, apparently, he's got a quote from it. As recently as 2018, the second CD went for Republican Charlie Baker for governor by a healthy 68 to 32% spread. Baker's second straight win there. They liked Scott Brown over Martha Coakley in the 2010 Senate special, too. Now, Chris, at this point, I'd like to redirect you to the second paragraph. What do Massachusetts voters want? Okay, not Republicans. This is lazy writing because, like, you're 5 paragraphs later, you're talking about how Republicans do pretty well in the state, actually. So why does this relatively moderate district rally so persistently and conclusively behind a perennial top 10 finisher and the Nation Journal's ranking of the most liberal House members? What the fuck is the Nation Journal? National Journal. I still don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, we're getting to the... Perhaps I should skip ahead. There was... yeah. So this is the paragraph I really wanted to get to because it has one of the most infuriating sentences I've ever heard in my life in it. For starters, he showed up in the district and brings home the federal bacon, more than $100 million in FY 2025 in direct grants to Worcester and its schools. His longtime status as a critic of U.S. foreign policy toward Cuba, El Salvador, and the Middle East rubs some the wrong way. But his focus on human rights distinguishes him from leftist Hamas apologists. His focus on human rights distinguishes him from leftist Hamas apologists.
Wow, that's such a cool thing to write.
That is one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking read in my life.
I have a really important question for you. What is the date on this story?
Dude, like today. It's literally today.
Oh, it is literally today.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any idea why I might have asked that question? Do you know why else Jim McGovern was in the news in the past few days?
He was in the... No, go ahead.
So Jim McGovern, do you know who Miss Rachel is?
Oh, yeah, yep. I saw this, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Jim McGovern got a shout out from Miss Rachel, who... Well, so he got a shout out from Miss Rachel for basically committing to the idea of working towards reestablishing children's cancer treatment in occupied Palestine, because his daughter, who passed away very young, I think she was 24 or 25, had a complicated health history, including cancer.
Right.
And so he got a big glow up from Miss Rachel. So it seems like maybe John Keller is more in tune with the Seven Hills Facebook page than that, which is kind of remarkable. 'Cause that was like a, pretty, like, she has a bigger audience than Colleen West, I think we could say.
Yeah, I would say so. Also, Chris, I can't help but so he got big ups for supporting the reestablishment of what? The reestablishment of what exactly are they trying to reestablish in Gaza?
I believe it was children's cancer treatment, or like a children's cancer hospital. Let
Oh.
me get this because it's important.
So that means that there's no cancer treatment for children right now in Gaza?
It would. It would. Oh, I'm sorry. Not even. It appears that the way to do more, what they're actually, that was a dream too big, I guess. What they're trying to do,
dude, fuck.
is just reopen a medical evacuation corridor to get kids with cancer out of Gaza so that they could be treated elsewhere.
Dude.
Yeah, somewhere in that grim band of reality. Anyway, the reason I bring this up, obviously, is like, not just John Keller is incredibly detached from, I don't know, anyone under 70, and maybe hasn't read anything besides his own writing in quite a while. But that I would bet you $1 zillion that if John Keller even knows who Miss Rachel is, he would describe her as, what was that quote that they used? A Hamas apologist?
Leftist Hamas apologists.
Yeah.
Yeah. That in Jim McGovern is distinguished from being that in the imagination of John Keller because of his focus on human rights, which is, definitely not the animating principle of any sort of opposition to an ongoing genocide. Human rights have nothing to do with that. It's his focus on human rights, which, put a gun to John Keller's head, ask him what he means by that. What is Jim McGovern's focus on human rights mean vis-a-vis people to his left on the Hamas question? He's not gonna be able to answer that shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's just trying to say not all the way left wing.
Yes. Let me just give this information as actual information that I'm not recounting. This is from a Telegram article from a few days ago. McGovern's daughter, Molly McGovern, died in April 2025 after battling a rare form of cancer for close to 6 years. She was 23. On June 11th, McGovern, along with Senator Markey and others, sent a letter to the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, demanding the administration press the Israeli government to reestablish a medical corridor that would allow Palestinian cancer patients in Gaza to obtain life-saving medical care in East Jerusalem and in the West Bank. That's,
dude.
Yeah.
Fucking just Dune. That's fucking the Padishah Emperor telling the Harkonnens to fucking ease up a little bit.
It's really amazing, that he's doing this, and I have some thoughts on why I think Jim is actually a pretty unique congressman. But yeah, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about someone, basically asking the cabinet to just allow children with cancer to go from the part of occupied Palestine that is leveled to the ground to the other part of occupied Palestine that they haven't quite gotten there yet.
Yeah. Either let the kids with cancer out of the super concentration camp.
Yeah.
The city-sized concentration camp. You know what? I can't keep reading this article. That is a stunningly grim thing. That one of like Jim McGovern is like actually one of the best voices in Washington we have on the Gaza question.
Yep, has been
In
for
his,
a long time.
in his most attention sort of grabbing and radical demand in recent memory is that they lift the gates for a little bit to let a couple sick kids out. That's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
We are an evil, evil, evil country, and we deserve what's coming to us. And we need to talk about something else because I'm going dark on you here, Chris.
No, it's okay. I'll say this. Jim McGovern, this stupid bullshit aside, Jim McGovern has long been. I've lived here since 2004, and I've had a pretty good bead on what he's been doing since he's been my congressman. So 22 years. Jim McGovern, and that's through a redistricting, which was one of the only smart things that John Keller brought up in this whole thing, is that this district has been redistricted twice, and not a lot. Well, I shouldn't say not a lot. It is remarkable that he has survived two redistrictings of this district.
Mm.
And the reason I think is pretty simple. I could talk about why I like him. I mean, he is someone who has been, genuinely concerned about human rights. I saw him get arrested for protests over Darfur. He has put himself on the line a number of times and has taken early stances, often on the side of human rights. One of his big campaigns throughout his entire time in Congress is ending childhood hunger. He cares about this kind of stuff. He also has incredible constituent services, and I think that's the actual answer. Is that what most people need their congressperson for, is to like bring money back to the district for projects that they want to have done, and to when the rare time that someone needs to reach out to their congressman and have something done, he has the constituent service staff to do that. And they put their money where their mouth is. That's actually why I think there are a lot of people who are ideologically not super aligned with Jim McGovern, who still vote for Jim McGovern.
Yeah, cause he is a good politician. He is good on like the machine stuff, and he has good politics. And it wasn't. I hope I'm not being. I want to make it clear that like I appreciate Jim McGovern for standing out on the Gaza issue. I just think it is we're in a very grim place where that's like the best that we have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the best that we have on this. Something that we're directly complicit in, and will go down in history that way.
Yep. And if people don't know what's going on in the West Bank, very recently, like up to and including today, it's really bad and it's getting worse. There are more and more settler attacks. There are more and more land grabs that are happening. All of this happening in places that are all everywhere, including any agreements that have ever been entered into. Israelis are not supposed to be like taking these places over and stealing land and beating the shit out of people and killing people. And yet they just do. And then the IDF shows up to protect them. From the people whose land and stuff they're stealing, and who they're dehumanizing, and so it's the West Bank is not where you would want to go for cancer treatment, just by like political stability, and that's the best that Jim McGovern feels is politically possible. It's pretty tough.
That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. And you know why? he doesn't really see the political horizon on that. Never mind. I'm not going to try to make a transition here. I gotta. You know what? You know what'll cheer us up, Chris? And we're coming pretty close to time here, I think.
Yeah, I'm open to whatever you got.
But I have a George Russell quote from when he was on the radio, because in the wake of the first civilian review board meeting last week or 2 weeks ago now, I was like, I ought to tune in to Talk of the Commonwealth, to sort of get a feel for how the other side is handling this, right? Mm-hmm. And George Russell was on the Politics Roundtable or something like that. It's got some sort of name like that. Across, you got host Hank Stoltz, of course, and then you got Randy Feldman, you got George Russell, and I think that those were the only people there today. But Hank opens up the body camera, the civilian review board question by framing it as a progressive versus centrist question. And George Russell, very correctly, I think, says the following. Yeah, the only thing I disagree with you, Hank, is that you refer to the council as centrist, but the bottom line is that they're not centrist. The council is a very conservative council. It's made a real move to the right. And when I think of a centrist, I think of Sean Rose. I think of Joe Petty. I think of myself. The people were able to take stands on liberal issues and conservative issues both and be able to do it. I don't see that this majority of the city council right now, majority of the council right now, is more to the right and more conservative than councils in the past. That was and the audio might have seemed like it didn't change, but that was an actual clip from the radio.
Your George Russell is so impeccable that I might not know.
Yeah, did you like how I just piped that in? I'm getting pretty quick with the key commands, dude.
Yeah, he's getting so fast getting into that archive video.
Dude, bottom line is they're not centrist. George Russell. He gets out of there. He gets on the ballpark commission, and now he is all of a sudden starting to tell the truth about things. It's just it's where was this George Russell when we needed him, right?
I miss him.
We never needed him, but we did love him and we did want him, right? We never needed him, but we did want him. Peppers and onions.
He's the voice of everyone who comes after him forever. Yeah, like the literal voice that you didn't just do, that you played him doing.
But, right, dude. It's the funnest I've ever had covering city council is when we were doing the stream, and the stream was still fun. It was probably like 2022 or 2023, and George Russell is making a weirdly big stink about overhead photography of properties, and he's like, I don't want anybody looking at my property. And we were like, George, what are you doing back there? Like, you're in real estate. You know that Google Maps exists, right? He's like making this weird stink of a flyover, geographic mapping planes and stuff.
You know what's back there, Bill? All the watermelons. All the watermelons that didn't go in the trash yet.
Dude.
Like, it's the summertime. A guy can't eat 20, 25 watermelons? And then what am I supposed to do with them?
My neighbor, definitely not me, but my neighbor, he tried to throw out 6, 7 watermelons, and the DPW wouldn't take the trash bag.
They said you can't have a trash bag that's just all watermelons. What is this, North Korea?
We got to do something about the weight limit on these trash bags. I mean, it's not unreasonable to throw out 6 or 7 watermelons in one trash bag.
George, this you were so close, bud. This is where you argue for municipal compost.
Yeah, he
Put
was
as many
always
watermelons in there as you want, bud.
He was so close, but he was always no cigar. Okay, so I have 2 special requests for the listener before we leave. Number one, subscriptions are down. I need some of you to step up, or I'm starting to get nervous, and I don't want to talk about that anymore. Request number two, I tried very hard to find the clip of George Russell talking about his watermelons, and I couldn't. So if you want a research project, get in touch with me. I will share my notes. I will show you how far back I went in the archive, because I really did spend an entire night on it one night. Going through agendas, going through meeting video, trying to pinpoint that moment that George Russell was talking about his neighbors, definitely not his watermelons. And, maybe one more night of research and we get there. But we're not there yet. I was going to make a song that I sampled Whitney Houston, and it was going to be the watermelons quote. It really was going to be my my magnum opus, my Mahler's fifth, if you will. But I need that quote. So please, any listeners who want to go deep into the archives to get the holy grail of city council quotes, get in touch with me.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm gonna do something that Bill doesn't really want to do right now. I'll do it pretty quickly, and I'll put my hat out in my hand and say, if you value what you get here and from the newsletter and all of that stuff, I know times are tough. We all know times are tough. We all know that everything's getting more expensive and no one's got any fucking money and all of that. What you are getting here is an extraordinary value for what it costs. And, no joke. I mean, Bill only has the time to do what he does, plus sit down to do this with me, which is something that I enjoy greatly doing, because it can be his job. And if it can't, that is something that I think would be a big loss. And so let's not get there. Let's not even get close to there. I don't get paid to do this. I don't want money to do this. I just want Bill to be able to have the time and this, that we can sit down and have fun, dicking around on the podcast for 90 minutes. So if you're on the fence, just kick in. There's a thing there. If you don't want to subscribe, you can kick in a tip or whatever. Just that. Yeah,
either one of those is great. And would be a big help. I probably got at the current rate of diminishing returns, probably got a year if things don't turn around. But that's all extremely speculative. It's a boring time to be covering the city. The gas prices are through the roof. I'm not extremely worried about it, but I want people to think about it this way. An investment in Worcester Sox is an investment in a future where I am not your mailman, because I'm going to be a really fucking bad mailman. You might think you have a bad mailman right now, but if you don't contribute to this newsletter, that mailman could in the future be me. And then you're getting mail of life-altering importance, and you might be getting it, right? I might be putting it in the right mailbox, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I'm Russian. I'm not being careful. So just think of it that way. It's a sort of an investment in keeping me away from your mail.
Think about it that way. We're all media consumers. We've all seen the stories about the mailman who, they find out has thrown 60,000 parcels in the garbage over the last couple years because they
Taco Tuesday
just didn't want to, fucking.
Because my cat was hungry.
Because his cat was hungry, and you don't want that. You don't want that for yourself. You don't want that for anyone.
No.
So just think about it.
That's in my opinion, is $5 a month well spent.
I don't want you fucking anywhere near my mailbox. So my $69 a year will come indefinitely.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris, for the lovely, kind words, and thank you for indulging a little bit of anxiety there. But we're gonna be all right. We're gonna keep this thing going. We got to get to 10 years, you know. So, and by then we'll be on like episode frickin' 169, probably, or maybe even like 200 or 369.
Yeah, look, do we do the best podcast we could do every week? No. Do we do the best podcast even in a slow news week, where there isn't much going on, which is kind of where the city's been at? Probably not. But we do an okay one, and it's there, and I hope that people have fun with it, and you know, you don't want to. I was thinking about this the other day. I've been spending too much time playing dumb games on Steam, and I was like, wow, I wonder what the Steam achievement would be if we got to 100 episodes. Guys, how many podcasts have you listened to? They get 10, 15 episodes. Then all of a sudden, they're on a little break. Then they come back, they do 2 or 3, then it kind of peters out again. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen.
We have podcasters' strength, podcasters' durability. We understand that nobody bats 1,000. We're content to really just be on the team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're not even trying to be in the starting 9. But I think we put out a singular product here, and trust me, there's nowhere else on God's green earth that you're going to hear about the George Russell watermelon bit from 2023. I mean, we are the only people that possess that kind of knowledge. Yeah. So, Worcester is pretty much one of the funniest places that exists. I mean, can we all like realize that at the end of the day, that you got to kind of like, the written newsletter, I'll let myself get a little bit serious about stuff, but here is the perfect time to acknowledge that this is a cartoon city. This is all very funny. And just look at the guy that replaced George Russell. I mean, that's a cartoon villain. That's a cartoon criminal right there.
Yeah.
And he's off to a good start, dude. He's like it's just as likely that his reign of terror over D3 ends in indictments as it does in an electoral loss. So
yeah, here's the thing. Best piece of something that I ever heard from someone who actually went through a revolution in their country was they said, revolution happens very slowly, and then it happens very quickly. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying we're going to have a revolution here, but also funny things with city council happen very slowly, and then they happen very quickly. And
all at once.
I genuinely am being 100% seriousness. All joking aside, I don't want to do cops are bad, everything is terrible news update every week. I don't have it in me. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. But also I hope it's not what people come here for. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I mean, you all out there, correct me if I'm wrong. But we're coming up to a weird November where the most important thing we have to vote on is keeping legal weed. And who knows what's going to happen in the next 6 months. And we're always here when things start to kick off. But until then, we'll at least have better sandwich recommendations than Reddit does.
That's right. And that's that's all you can really hope for in these dog days of Worcester. I had a good point. Oh yeah, no, my good point is that it's I just leave the listener with this, that there's nothing more cutting with more revolutionary potential in the city of Worcester than putting the local political actors in a position to prove that they're serious people, not just give them the benefit of being serious people by nature of their public positions, right? If you have to, if you're making fun of someone all the time. They kind of have to prove that they're a serious person. And I've only seen Mo Bergman get less serious in the course of trying to prove that he's serious. So I think that we're doing good work there. I mean, and maybe I'm letting a little bit too much of the trade secrets fly, but it is more damaging to these really sort of reactionary and regressive members of our local political class to be made fun of than it is for them to be yelled at, I think. So yep. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, let's take them as seriously as they should be taken.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, it's trash night for me, so I gotta get all my watermelons out in this.
Shit, man!
I swear to God, if they don't take it, it's only 45 pounds, Chris.
You got to split that. You got to split that across 3 bags, bud. Just make sure you split it across 3 bags. Put some diversionary trash in there. Get some newspapers, maybe like some chicken bones or something, just so you know it's not all watermelons.
Costs more to throw these watermelons out than it does to buy them.
Yeah, brother, I harvested damn near 6 pounds of radishes. I'm living in radish world. I'm not gonna make this longer. I'll be in radish world again in the future. We'll talk about it then. But yeah, I don't have city trash, and if I did, I think someone would have really serious questions about the amount of radish accoutrement I'm throwing in the trash right
now. Whose house is this? A rabbit's? All right, let's get out of here. It's time to go. It's time to go. All right, we'll talk to everybody next week. This is episode 71. Today is Monday, August 3rd. And you're listening to Torcast.
Later.
Get back. I ain't got time for the attack. Grinning with a bird abstract. Young brother sharp as a tax. Snatch a crown from a king, and I tell you why I spec. Grown man simple for a rap. Boot like a blues, you a nap. Time to start a